am sports tired, and it's the best kind of tired to be. I thought Chiefs up by 10, maybe say goodnight to Mike Tirico and Chris Collinsworth. And all of a sudden, I'm staying up. And then all of a sudden, it ends like this last night.
And we see it, and the toe, no, he's out of bounds. That's by a toenail.
And the clock expired as well.
This would end the game if they ruled this an incompletion.
The runner's toe hit out of bounds. It's an incomplete pass. The game is over.
Sean Hockley, I've never loved you more, brother. Incomplete, and Kansas City wins this game by a toenail.
And you might derive that that's the Chiefs radio network there with the call 96.5, The Fan in Kansas City, by a toenail there. Plus, you know what I loved about this? If that call did stand, John Harbaugh was going for 2. He was going for the win. All right, so I'm watching the game last night, and as I finish watching the game, I'm thinking, okay, if I'm a Ravens fan, how do I feel? I feel really good, and then I feel really bad. Like, I had mixed emotions. And if I'm a Chiefs fan, I feel really good, but then there's part of me that's like, okay, we gave up a lot of yards. We did win. I didn't think either team looked particularly good. I think there were moments, and we, of course, all had the same thought about Xavier Worthy. It was like, all right, there's a touchdown. All right, there's another touchdown. And I kept thinking about the Buffalo Bills when the Chiefs say to the Bills, hey, you going to use that first-round draft pick? Could we trade up? Sure. Would you be taking an offensive weapon? Oh, I don't know. The Chiefs select Xavier Worthy, fastest player in the draft. Now, the Bills did get the 32nd pick. I think they traded down to 33rd, and they took Keon Coleman out of Florida State. And by all accounts, seems like he could be a really, really good player for them. But here's Xavier Worthy, and Buffalo allows them to move up. First touchdown. By the way, Xavier Worthy is the 9th first-round pick to score a touchdown on his first touch from scrimmage in his debut. Devontae Smith did it for the Eagles in 2021. Marquise Brown with the Ravens in 2019. A.J. Green with the Bengals, 2011. 2008, Robert Meacham for the Saints. Felix Jones for the Cowboys in 08. Vernon Davis, 06 for the Niners. Mike Williams for the Lions, 05. Heath Miller, 05 with the Steelers.
Stat of the day, stat of the day, stat of the day, stat of the day. Here comes that what? Stat of the day.
Stat of the day brought to you by Panini America, the official trading cards of the program. Phone calls always welcome, 877-3DP-SHOW. Seton will do the honors with a poll question for the first hour. We got a busy show. Rich Eisen, the face of the NFL Network, will join us coming up a little bit later on. Matt Leinart will stop by. Jerry Ferrara, who played Turtle on Entourage. He's been in a lot of other things. They're doing a podcast. Nancy Lieberman, Hall of Fame basketball player and broadcaster in the WNBA. She'll join us a little bit later on as well. Lamar Jackson rushed for 122 in the loss last night. Third quarterback to rush for 100 yards in a season opener. The last time it happened was a Raiders quarterback in 2013. Anybody want to gauge a guess? 2013, Raiders quarterback rushed for over 100 yards in his debut. If you said Terrell Pryor, you would be correct.
Wow, deep cut.
Stat of the day, stat of the day. Here comes the stat of the day. Stat of the day, stat of the day. Here comes the stat of the day.
Thank you, Darius. So watching Lamar, the other quarterback to do it was Michael Vick in 2010. So rushing for at least 100 yards in a season opener. When it's all said and done, I got Lamar Jackson at 27. He's probably going to rush for 8,000 yards in his career? I mean, he's going to blow away Michael Vick. What is it? Michael Vick, Cam Newton, Steve Young's in there, Russell Wilson Jr. the third. Am I leaving out anybody, Paulie?
Yeah, you got the list right. Mike Vick, Cam Newton, Lamar Jackson is at 5,300. He'll pass Cam Newton probably in a month. Honestly, in a month. Russell Wilson, Randall Cunningham, and a bunch of retired guys.
He's going to have 6,000 yards by the end of the season. He'll have a total of 6,000. I mean, I don't know if he could get to 10,000 yards. I don't know if the Ravens want him to get to that many yards, but I don't think he can change. Like, you're watching. Now, he was way too aggressive for me. When you're taking on tacklers, you're lowering. Like, we don't need this. You know? It's, hey, I admire it. Like Chris Collinsworth said, I kind of admire it, but I don't want it. All right, the tough guy taking on. No. We don't need that. We don't need that. But I thought they were going to do a little bit more of the option that Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson going down the line, pick your poison. And I'm hoping that we do see that. It was nice to see Derrick Henry, but 13 carries? I don't know. I got to load him up a little bit more. And then Isaiah Lively, he's the go-to guy now. Likely, I should say. Lively. Isn't there Derek Lively and then Isaiah Likely? Yeah. But this guy, I remember seeing him at Coastal Carolina.
Bloop.
Yeah. Who was the quarterback they had?
Was that Grayson McCall?
Yeah.
Maybe?
Didn't he just isn't he on NC State now?
Yeah, the tour continues.
Yeah, he had long hair. I remember like a Thursday night Coastal Carolina game. I remember seeing this guy. I'm like, man, he's pretty athletic for a big guy. But, late in the game, they were going to him. Last drive, they were going to him and then thought he had the touchdown. And he had this to say after the game.
What do you take away from a competitive game like that against this team?
I say this is probably the worst game we're going to play all year. So if this is their best that they got, I mean, good luck in the postseason.
So that's Isaiah Likely, the Ravens tight end. You start to look at these skill position players that the Ravens have surrounded Lamar Jackson with. And, it's not an impressive list. They've tried, and then they've whiffed on quite a few of these players. I think I do have a list. So supporting cast, Lamar Jackson on offense has had 3 skill position players who have made the Pro Bowl. That's since 2018 when Lamar got there. Mark Andrews 3 times, Alan Ricard, who's a fullback 3 times, and then Mark Ingram as a 30-year-old running back. That's it. I can't count a fullback, but you can't, right? It's just different now,
Like no one says, remember those Alan Ricard years?
Yeah.
Lamar Jackson, Alan Ricard. Thunder and lightning. No offense.
Okay, but they took a swing at Le'Veon Bell, Dez Bryant, Deshaun Jackson, Odell Beckham Jr. III, Devontae Freeman, Melvin Gordon III, and Latavius Murray. They're trying. They just haven't done well. And now Derrick Henry, let's see if he can put up some big numbers. They're certainly expecting him to do so. But I'm watching the Ravens. That's never a pretty offense. Like they don't get into a rhythm. It's just Lamar is choppy. I don't know how to describe it. Like it just feels like that's the best guy on the playground and he's going to make a play. And like the rhythm part of it, you see that with offenses. Like, oh boy, they got it going. And he's not afraid to pull the ball down. And I could watch Chris Jones. They could have put a camera on Chris Jones last night, and I would have watched that. He's fascinating. And I think Marvin asked me, well, what position does he play? And I said, he's just a football player because he plays every position, up front. All he does is go, hey, I'm gonna go over here. Hey, scoot out of the way. He's looking for a mismatch, and he's fun to watch. He disrupts. Yes, Marvin.
Can Chris Jones be first-team All-Pro at D tackle and DN?
So do a J.J. Watt.
Correct.
Isn't that amazing? J.J. Watt was a Pro Bowl player or All-Pro player at 2 different positions in the same year?
Dang. High motor. You can play 2 positions at the same time. Strength of 2 men.
Man, that's crazy. But was it Pro Bowl or All Pro that he was at two different positions, Marvin?
Checking right now.
Okay, thank you. Yes, Paulie.
You know what's fascinating with stats that don't really match? Like Chris Jones had no hits on the quarterback last night. Now, if you look at that, he had 2 tackles and no hits on the quarterback. That said, he was in the backfield as much as Lamar Jackson was.
Yeah.
Like the stats don't match his impact.
Yeah, that's why I like hurries. I like when you have somebody who's constantly putting pressure. That's why I love Max Crosby. He's putting pressure on you constantly. May not get the sack totals, but he's there all the time. Yes, Marvin.
For J.J. Watt, for his outstanding season, Watt was unanimously named to first team All-Pro as a defensive end and All-Pro second team as a defensive tackle in 2014.
Took 2 spots. Selfish.